with that being said, I've been in a Waymo, and Waymos are amazing. They're just very expensive per unit. But the CEO of Google, and obviously Waymo, Google owns Waymo. He speaks on Elon Musk. Let's see what he has to say about his autonomous vehicles.
You mentioned one of the craziest, biggest moonshots, which is Waymo. It's one when I first saw over a decade ago a Waymo vehicle, a Google self-driving car vehicle. It was for me. It was an aha moment for robotics. It made me fall in love with robotics even more than before. It gave me a glimpse into the future. So it's incredible. I'm truly grateful for that project, for what it symbolizes. But it's also a crazy moonshot. It's for a long time. Waymo has been just like you mentioned with scuba diving, just not listening to anybody, just calmly improving the system better and better, more testing, just expanding the operational domain more and more. First of all, congrats on 10 million paid robotaxi rides. What lessons do you take from Waymo about like the perseverance, the persistence on that project?
I look really proud of the progress we've had with Waymo. One of the things I think we were very committed to, the final 20% can look like, we always say, right, the first 80% is easy, the final 20% takes 80% of the time. I think we definitely were working through that phase with Waymo, but I was aware of that. But we knew we were at that stage. We knew we were the technology gap between, while there were many people, many other self-driving companies, we knew the technology gap was there. In fact, right at the moment when others were doubting Waymo is when I made the decision to invest more in Waymo, right? Because so in some ways it's counterintuitive, but I think, look, we've always been a deep technology company, and Waymo is a version of kind of building a AI robot that works well, and so we get attracted to problems like that. The caliber of the teams there, phenomenal teams. And so I know you follow the space super closely. I'm talking to someone who knows the space well, but it was very obvious it's going to get there. And, there's still more work to do. But it's a good example where we always prioritized being ambitious and safety at the same time, right? And equally committed to both and pushed hard, and, couldn't be more thrilled with how it's working, how much people love the experience. And this year has definitely, we've scaled up a lot, and we'll continue scaling up in 26.
That said, the competition is heating up. You've been friendly with Elon, even though technically he's a competitor, but you've been friendly with a lot of tech CEOs in that way, just showing respect towards them and so on. What do you think about the robotaxi efforts that Tesla is doing? Do you see it as competition? What do you think? Do you like the competition?
We are one of the earliest and biggest backers of SpaceX as Google. Right. Wow. So, thrilled with what SpaceX is doing, and fortunate to be investors as a company there.
That's cool.
And look, we don't compete with Tesla directly. We are not making cars, etc. Right? We are building L4-5.
Think about that. You can learn from these guys like that. Imagine, Tomb 45, my company could invest in, another barber company that's doing well and sit at the board and all that and help it expand. That's pretty cool.
Autonomy. We're building a Waymo driver, which is general purpose and can be used in many settings. They're obviously working on making Tesla self-driving too. I've just assumed it's a de facto that Elon would succeed in whatever he does. So, that is not something I question. So, but I think we are so far from, these spaces are such vast spaces. Like I think about transportation, the opportunity space. The Waymo driver is a general purpose technology we can apply in many situations. So you have a vast green space. In all future scenarios, I see Tesla doing well and, Waymo doing well.
Like we mentioned with the Neolithic package, I think it's very possible that in the quote unquote AI package, when the history is written, autonomous vehicles, self-driving cars is like the big thing that changes everything. Imagine over a period of a decade or two, just the complete transition from manually driven to autonomous in ways we might not predict. It might change the way we move about the world completely. So that, the possibility of that, and then the second and third order effects, as you're seeing now with Tesla, very possibly you would see some internally with Alphabet, maybe Waymo, maybe some of the Gemini robotics stuff. It might lead you into the other domains of robotics. Because we should remember that Waymo is a robot. It just happens to be on 4 wheels. So you said that the next big thing, we can also throw that into AI package. The big aha moment might be in the space of robotics. What do you think that would look like?
Demis and the Google DeepMind team is very focused on Gemini robotics, right? So
Yeah.
we are definitely building the underlying models well. So we have a lot of investments there. And I think we are also pretty cutting edge in our research there. So we are definitely driving that direction. We obviously are thinking about applications in robotics. We'll kind of work seriously. We are partnering with a few companies today, but it's an area I would say stay tuned. We are yet to fully articulate our plans outside, but it's an area we are definitely committed to driving a lot of progress. But I think AI ends up driving that massive progress in robotics. The field has been held back for a while. I mean, the hardware has made extraordinary progress. The software had been the challenge, but with AI now and the generalized models we are building, we are building these models, getting them to work in the real world in a safe way, in a generalized way, is the frontier we're pushing pretty hard on.
It's cool. Pretty cool. So guys, I am currently, the last thing I want to see is, no, that's not it. All right.